All right, so Galahadran, uh, as you are enjoying your sort of night on the town, you are drinking and sort of living it up with the group. You turn in for the night. You go to start trancing, and you start to trance, but then in the middle of your trance, it slowly fades into just blackness, and there's nothingness. And then you open your eyes again, and you look out, and the sun is already up, and you realize you don't know what you did. It feels like you've never done that before. There was no dreaming, there was no trancing, there was just blackness, and obviously a lot of time has passed. And you find yourself waking up in your hotel room, everybody else is gone.
I I go to find them.
Okay, make a perception check.
Right? Get my character. Normal.
As you sort of go to look for him, you go and you I guess are trying to find people. You go to the next door room, which has Phelan and Alina in it. I have no idea where Marrow and Dirt slept, but I know how the two humans pair off, or the four people pair off rather. And you sort of knock on the door to, you know, I guess look for them. You don't hear a response. You open it just in time to see a short figure in black robes and like a hood and a mask, just booking it for the window, and turns back and stops a bit and looks at you.
I tackle the figure.
They go to run. Go ahead and make a. I think it's an attack roll or is it athletics check? I think it's an attack roll.
It's really up to you.
Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Okay, athletics.
Oh, that broke again. Great. I'll
Uh,
fix that later.
Normal.
You grab them. You sort of as they're not able to get to the window, and they sort of stop. They shake. They're around like, I guess in your experience, like goblin size, just like small. You're much taller than them. They struggle to get out of your grip. And they sort of eep a bit. And before you can ask them anything else, they disappear from your grasp and are gone.
Address bastard up. Oh, disappear. It's like they turn invisible. I don't let
Just
go.
your hands are like locked firmly on them, and then you are holding nothing.
I turn around to look for them.
All right. Do another perception or investigation, your choice.
Probably perception.
You look around. You cannot see them anywhere. The room has been. It seems like they're like halfway through turning it over, probably scrounging around looking for something. You're not sure what. It does not seem like they found it before you came in, and there is no trace of where they are.
I will continue my search for my friends.
Okay. I forgot to put the music on. All right. As you're sort of like that shock of adrenaline after you're starting your day late, you remember that you had a planned meeting, but you are not exactly sure where. Oh wait, no, somebody wrote a note. Who wrote a note?
I think I did, or was it?
That
It was
probably,
either Abel or I.
that would have been
Yeah.
the two of us probably
What
together.
Where did you leave it? What did it say? Would they find it on a 19?
On a 19, yeah, it'd be pretty obvious, I think.
Yeah. They didn't find it on the 10, but they find it on a 19. So what would it say?
Basically, Galahadran, we tried to wake you, but we couldn't rouse you. We left for the cathedral. We're meeting with the bishops at the cathedral at such and such o'clock. And then with...
We put the specific cathedral, by the way,
Yeah,
not
the
Royal Cathedral.
Here.
Yeah.
The Royal Cathedral. And then, did we know about our meeting with the king at that point? I'm trying to remember. I don't think we did we? Or no, we did. We
I
did.
I think he mentioned if it goes well, I will have a meeting, but he kind of sprung that it's going to be on the same day.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess we tell him to look for us there.
Galahadron tries to tell the time. It always comes back to time, and he doesn't know. So he's going to leap out the window and run towards the Royal Cathedral. Does he know what
Okay.
the Royal Cathedral is?
Abel, go ahead and make whatever intelligence check you think we would be applicable to realize that Galahadron has no idea where anything would be in this city.
I mean, we could have just added ask the bartender.
You could have added like a bunch of stuff.
I feel like I forget.
Yeah, because you guys both went to college in this place. You know it like the back of your hand. So,
we probably know that he's like. I probably remember he's not native, but probably wouldn't remember that he's like
not native.
Not native, you know.
Yeah. It's the Royal Cathedral. It's next to the palace. It's the biggest thing in the city. How could you possibly?
In the city, yeah.
Yeah. So Galahadron, go ahead and make a survival check.
Comes down to survival once again. And once again, I'm doing great.
Gods, what would that even be? What would?
I'm running.
Yeah, you're definitely running. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Absolutely. I'm running and not looking.
You are running and not looking. You turn a corner and you go ahead and make a dexterity save.
A lot of rolls. Hold on. Dexterity.
Yeah, well.
An ability check or a saving throw?
Save. Okay. So you're running. You first try to trace your steps back. It's like, oh, there were 3 cathedrals there. It's probably one of those. You get lost on the way. You try to look for it. You can't find any recognizable landmarks. You start running around through like alleys in a panic. You run from an alley onto a main street and turn a sharp corner. And as you are turning, you look in front of you, and there is somebody that you get right up in their face and are about to collide into them when 2 pairs of strong arms grab you from the side and just pin you to the ground.
To the ground?
To the ground. Just two fully grown people on the periphery of your vision just grab you and pin you to the ground. And they just start yelling at you incoherently to stop moving.
You gotta buy someone dinner first before you do this.
No, freeze, and you look up at the 2 people who are holding you down. Look like they are like guards. They're in shining armor. They have some, so tabards, very official looking. I don't think you need to roll for this one. So here's my thoughts on how Galahadron's sort of like perception stuff works, because they're a fae. You're not good at mortal faces. Like, that's just they're not pretty enough. They're not distinct enough. They all kind of blend together for the same. But I would think, and let me know if you agree with this, I think Galahadron can, like, see shrimp colors.
Yes,
I think that makes you see a much more vibrant spectrum of the color wheel. Like, you can see hex codes and shit like that. And that's been partially frustrating for you because you love the shade of green that your cloak is. But even here on this, in Aventicuum, as you've been going around, you've seen other green colors. You've never seen anything the same shade of green that this cloak is. But you look up in front of you, and you see the person you're about to run into is a young man, sort of darkish skin, hair sort of in like small, like that small, like side cut braid, like black hair that every character in a video game where we're trying to make, like cyberpunk sort of stuff there, is like that. And he's, probably pretty, like probably on the edge of, like, if you spent enough time, you might notice him, who he is out of a crowd. Like, pretty enough, not pretty by Fae standards, but by mortal standards, not bad. But he is wearing a richly embroidered coat that has like gold, trim and stuff on it, like very fancy outfit. But the coat itself is the first time you have seen that shade of green of your cloak when you've been on Aventicuum.
Oh, the same green. I'm the Green Knight.
Uh,
You know the Green Knight?
How dare you speak that way? And he's like, oh no, I don't think he meant to assault me. What's your name, sir?
Galahad, is he still on the ground?
You are still pinned on the ground.
We'll do a respectful nod then. You may call me Galahadrin the Green, Summer Knight, the Green Knight.
A knight. What house do you serve?
Summer. All the houses.
Sir,
All
looks
of them,
at you. And is that on your back, if you would beg my pardon, is that a relic?
Well, Galahadrin tries to look, but he's on the ground. I mean, the green cloak, of course, is...
No, not the
from...
cloak, the shield.
Oh, maybe.
You can let him up. Get him off the ground. I don't think he meant to assault me or anything like that.
I'm looking for the Royal Cathedral.
You are looking for the Royal Cathedral.
I'm late. Maybe.
Late for what, Sir Galahadrin?
Um,
You're in the wrong part of the city if you're going to the Royal Cathedral.
I have a meeting. Galahadrin pulls out his note and looks at it. At this time, a meeting at the Royal Cathedral.
Well, you're almost an hour late for that.
How can you tell?
So he points over and there's like a clock tower. It's just like off in the distance. You say, who are you meeting with at the Royal Cathedral?
It wasn't anyone from House Seabreeze. Probably a bishop. A lot of bishops. At
the Royal Cathedral?
Maybe. There was a prince and a princess involved. One of them,
really?
Potentially. Yes.
What?
I don't remember. There's a lot of people here that
Sir, this man is obviously drunk and it's not even noon. It's like, no, let him, he has a relic and he introduced himself as a knight. Let's give him some benefit. I have some time on my hands. Would you mind if my men and I escorted you to the cathedral?
Oh, that would be wonderful. I could trade stories with you. I can tell you all about the Green Knight that I've met. I know people here love the knights. And I've met one personally.
Very interesting. Yes, no, let's go. So he looks over at one of the knights and is like, if I don't have anything on my schedule right now. It's like, no, sir, you're free for the rest of the early afternoon. It's like, good. Yes, no, let's walk and talk. I'm interested to see where you were going in such a hurry.
Oh yes. Well, one of my favorite stories, and Galahadrin tells him about the one with the goblins, where the one that's kind makes friends with all the goblins instead of fighting them. That's in there.
Interesting. Yeah, and he talks with you. He seems familiar with those stories. Talks about them back and forth with you. Meanwhile, I believe that in the sort of break between meetings, everybody sort of stepped outside to the front of the cathedral.
And Alina's having a panic attack.
Mm-hmm. Elaborate.
Well, because she had that vision, and like she's low-key convinced that everything is her fault. She's very confused by the weird responses from the archbishops. She's also confused by just Phelan's low-key guard dog status when, Serena?
Mm-hmm.
See, I remember, the one name.
The one name.
The one name. And so I think she's legitimately, sort of sitting on the steps. Just breathing.
All right. Phelan's kind of like rubbing your back, but still staying mostly quiet, just looking around, watching, making sure, like, nobody, just keep. He's a bit paranoid in this situation as well, I'd imagine. Abel and Marrow, how are you guys faring?
Dirt is providing, what is it called? Hold on, it's like
Scritches?
deep pressure therapy.
Are you
For,
stoner?
yeah, he is.
All right.
Like pressing into her.
Yeah.
With all those knives.
On the side.
The non-knife side.
The flats of the blade, as if she's a clove of garlic. All right, Abel?
I think Abel is basically trying to talk Alina through it. Basically, be like, "Look, we're gonna figure all this out. We're here to help you. We're there's gonna be a we're gonna figure out our way through this. And it's gonna make sense. It's not your fault. That kind of thing." And he's very convincing about it. He's very convincing that he feels confident in the situation.
Gonna let Marrow give you a help action. Doesn't look like it's needed.
I'm sorry, what happened?
I'm lying my ass off that I think everything's gonna be okay.
Alright. So as you guys are kind of having this scene, the front of the stairs, the bishops have already left. There are some, like, royal guards around, but they're mainly ceremonial, just to, just make sure nobody does anything untowards in the area. As you are having this moment, there is another group that is coming up the steps, a few guards, and a young woman who is familiar to Alina and Abel. See, she is wearing a fine green dress embroidered with gold. She has sort of darker skin as well, with long, slightly curly hair. She looks at both of you with a little bit of confusion and then recognition, and then a little more confusion and then a smile. And it's like, Alina, is that you?
Is this the princess?
And you see Princess Amelia.
Alina gracefully shoots to her feet and bows deeply.
Yes.
Abel does the same behind her.
And Mr. Whitewater, what are you doing here?
I've several orders of business, actually, one of which is assisting Aelita here, Your Majesty.
I see. And, you have some interesting companions here. Would you mind introducing me?
Of course, Your Majesty. This would be Phelan of the Garen Woods and Marrow.
Pleasure.
Gesture each of them.
It's nice to meet you. I am Princess Amelia Rinsward. She just does a curtsy. It's like, I am surprised to see you here. I'd seen that the cathedral was booked for the afternoon for a meeting with my father, but it only said the Archbishop, and I wanted to see if there was anybody else that was going. It'd be strange to book out the entire cathedral for just a one-on-one session. I wasn't expecting to see either of you here.
We have had a crazy couple of weeks, Your Highness.
Oh, that's quite surprising. Here, why don't we? Let's go. Let's sit down. Let's catch up. And she goes into the cathedral and beckons for you guys to follow her.
Can I do a vibe check?
Yeah.
Okay. It's perception, right?
Insight.
Insight.
Yeah, she seems confused yet curious.
Yeah.
Not like hostile, just like, this is surprising. For multiple things. But yeah, as she sort of walks in with you. She's like, "So, Alina, I take it that you being back, are you wishing to discuss the knighthood with my father?"
Soon, Your Highness. There
So,
have been. I know. I do apologize for that, but within these last few weeks, several things have come up, and I am worried that if I were to currently, and she stresses that word gently, um, swear myself in the service of you, your brother, and your father, um, that I would not be able to solve the mystery, as it were. I am willing to tell you as much as we are able.
a
But it
mystery?
is the mystery of mysteries, truly. And she smiles.
My, that's not the answer. Well, it's partially the answer I was expecting, not what I was hoping for, though I am glad to see that you are harboring the offer still. I got a bit worried when I saw that you were here with Sir Whitewater.
That is understandable. I would like to soothe you in letting you know that your offer is the one I am considering the most.
I am sure that my brother and father will be happy to hear that. Now, forgive my assumption, but are you the ones who are going to be meeting with the Archbishop and my father?
Yes, Your Highness. We just got out of a meeting with the 3 archbishops.
Uh, would you mind if I asked what the meeting was about?
I look at Abel.
Are you familiar with the Archbishop? Hang on. Archbishop Spade's theories about the Knights Eternal?
Sort of looks at you and it's like, And how are you aware of those theories?
We've been discussing them with him ad nauseum the past couple of days.
Really?
Yes. I do believe the bishop would like to tell you himself. I'm not sure if he would appreciate me spoiling the surprise, as it were.
Oh, no, I believe that if one of the people who I have extended an offer of knighthood to is going to be here, then it wouldn't be imprudent for me to sit in on my father's meeting.
No.
As
Of
long
course,
as
of
you
course
don't
not.
mind. Yes.
No. I would not presume to make that determination. I was merely saying it was the bishop's place to explain his views on the matter.
He is very excited.
Oh, I am aware
about
of
it.
the bishops and his moods and attitudes and priorities, we shall say. Now, tell me, Abel, I was under the impression that you had gone back to work for your family in your county. Are you here as an official representative? Is this House Whitewater business?
The business with the bishop is not. However, I have other business here to complete for my uncle. So it was kind of one of those, happy accidents that allowed me to both serve my house and help out a friend.
I see. And what business might that be?
Well, there was a slight kerfuffle in Dranus. I'm not sure if you've been made aware of it.
Unfortunately, I am not aware of any kerfuffles in Dranus that have been brought to my attention recently. That's not usually the area that I keep an eye on. My brother handles that usually.
Yes, that would probably be why I was. Or yes, that's. I was. That. Excuse me.
Yes, don't be too nervous, Abel. We are acquaintances of a sort. We are familiar with each other. You don't need to trip over yourself so much.
Yes, those were much less formal circumstances.
Indeed. I'm glad that you understand that this is a more formal setting. And she sort of gives you a look. Go ahead and make an insight check.
those are in an inconvenient place, I guess. Okay. Attributes, insight. Ooh.
She does not like that someone she bought drugs from is going to be talking to her father. She is like, why the fuck are you here?
Why is my drug
You
dealer
shouldn't be here. Alina is fine. This is interesting. Why the fuck are you here? Like, it's not so much that she dislikes you. She knows what your talents are, and she doesn't think they're applicable. That makes sense. But she's being polite about it, but she's also just like, what are you doing? You are not a reputable person.
Yeah, I guess can I like make? I want to make some assurances that the basically what happened in college stays in college kind of deal.
Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check on that, just as you guys make small talk. Yeah, you able to, and I think she gets the gist of it, and is mollified a bit that you're not here to like sell drugs to her grandfather or something.
I would not presume.
Yeah.
We are
Well,
selling drugs to the king.
yeah.
But
but yeah,
I guess
so-
I'll briefly give her a rundown of the events of Dranis, if that's what she is asking about for my other business.
how much? She's here to make small talk. But if you start to tell her, she won't tell you to stop or anything. Like, she'll listen to it, but I'm not sure how much detail you want to go into on that. It gets kind of weird.
Yeah, it does get kind of weird.
It starts kind of weird. It starts with being attacked by zombies on the road and an illegal shield relic deal. I'm not sure how much you actually want to tell her.
I mean, yeah, basically just that there's some. I'd summarize it as there's some weapons from Felmara held up on a customs paperwork snafu.
Well, that is your problem and my brother's problem.
Yeah, so I won't trouble you with it further.
Good, thank you. Appreciate that. And yeah, she talks to Alina, just catches up with her and such. As you guys are talking, Galahadran, the pretty man in the green coat, leads you into the other direction of the city that you were not going anywhere near. There is a large, grand stone building in this sort of central district that has like stained glass and spires and like flying buttresses, like a very pretty ceremonial building. No flowers or plants or anything that's like, absolutely gorgeous. But as far as, human things go, it's pretty good. And he's sort of like, no, this is the Royal Cathedral. Let's see if my grandfather has made it. Yeah, if you'd follow me. And he sort of takes you right up there, opens the door, and sees this whole group.
I found you. I found your note.
Galahadran.
And I found you.
Galahadran, what a pleasant surprise. And you brought the prince with you.
Galahadran looks around. This one?
Whitewater, and Alina Catalia, and an elf and a dog. Sister, this is
Phelan.
Yes, brother, they were going to meet with grandfather and Archbishop Spade about his little pet project with the knights. And they sort of share a look and are like, oh, we're staying. Like,
good.
Like, this is an amusing bunch that the twins just sort of look at each other and it's like, oh, there's something interesting going on here. So Galahadran, these are the companions you were talking about. I did not expect you to be friends with Sir Whitewater and Sir Catala.
Oh yes, they're both quite heroic. We saved a village.
Sir Catala is incredibly heroic. We've extended her an offer of knightship.
Oh yes. I've heard a little bit about that. Seems like a traveling knight. We've been traveling from place to place, doing great deeds. We slayed basilisks, the details for that one are fuzzy, but we defeated basilisks. We saved a town from a giant spider and goblins and a plant guy. He turned the people into box hedges. And
Brother, who is your new friend here? The princess says, just kind of looking at you, busting in with this holy relic on your back, just spouting all this stuff, and seem to know Abel and the rest of the group. And you see there's a young woman there. Her dress is the same color green as your cloak and as the young man's coat.
same
and-
green.
Yep.
Say your clothes are the same green as my cloak, the same as the Green Knight's clothes. Your clothes are the same as the Green Knight's.
They are green. I don't know.
The same green, Your Highness, the same green. They must be from same type of clothes, same house.
We do have a tailor that uses a special green dye only for the royal colors, but I wouldn't say it's. I'm surprised that you would notice such a detail. It's more of a traditional thing for our official clothes.
That's perfect. Which of the Knights Eternal, Galahadrian turns to Eilina, was a part of the royal family?
We're not for certain, but the legend is that it was definitely one, and if we went by the portraits in the museum, it would likely be Sir Gavin.
Sir Gavin. All
Of
right.
course, if it's just a rumor, we can't. Don't take that necessarily at face value. It's something that our family is proud of, but that's more of a legend. I wouldn't. We're not descended from saints necessarily. Please don't. Like, we are royalty, though, sister. And it's like, oh no, we are royalty. Don't get that wrong. But the emphasis is on the wrong place there.
Alina will make sure to take a step to bow to Prince Everett.
Sir Katala?
I'm also there bowing, just waiting to be acknowledged.
You guys don't bow to me.
Abel, it's been too long. And he shoots a glance at his sister, and his sister gives him a look, and they just have that, communication of just like, yeah, we know, he's here. Don't worry about it.
It's on the level.
Yeah. They're like,
Of course, Your Majesty, it's a pleasure to see you again.
It's a pleasure to see you as well. Sister, should I believe there was a meeting they're here for. It's like, oh yes, no, it should be starting soon. I can see the Archbishop is already up there. He's like, oh yes, I am. Just finished my sandwich. It's like, oh yes. I believe this is going to be a private meeting, so as you can, men, you can wait at the door. I'm sure that we'll be perfectly safe here with the members present. We'll let you know if we need anything. And the two guards just sort of like nod, bow, and peace out. And the prince sort of says, I'm realizing now that I have a royal voice and it is not gendered.
It is the royal we voice.
Yeah. But it's like, so, Sir Galahadrian here of House Summer?
Correct. Yes. Of Summer.
Of House Summer, not Whitewater or Katala or Mr. Phelan, what was your last name? And he just shrugs and he's like, it's not important. I'm like, okay.
A standard response.
He's a man of one name.
Phelan looks a bit overwhelmed right now.
Where I'm from, most people don't give out their names like that.
Yes. So what was this meeting with Grandfather and the Archbishop going to be? Oh, their pet project. It's like, oh yes. Interesting. I believe, sister, you're staying? It's like, oh yes, I'm staying. So I believe I will stay as well. We need to. I believe that Miss Katali here was offered a knightship as well. Has she decided to accept that?
As I told Her Highness, we have had a troubling several weeks. And while your bid is the one I am going to more than likely say yes to, the second I have a moment, I do not believe that I will be able to lend a hand in solving this mystery if I am sworn to you all, to the royal family. I will do my. I wish to, but there's things that I must do. Forgive me. And she bows again.
No, of course, of course. And what about, and the prince says, and what about you, Sir Galahadrin? Are you sworn as a knighthood to a house?
You mean
Carry
a
a
house?
relic? And he points towards the relic, and the
Yeah.
sister notices the relic and goes,
Yes. Well, not to a house here. I know you're referring to, and Galahadrin gestures around all of this. My oaths are to Summer, but I am in Whitewater's debt. So I owe my life to Whitewater. So, in a sense, I'm here to serve House Whitewater.
From the front of the cathedral, you hear the distant voice of the archbishop. Oh, is that Galahadrin? Oh, come here, boy!
All right,
I don't have my chair right now. I can't come see you. I wish to speak with you before the king gets here.
Okay, Galahadrin jogs up.
The prince and princess just sort of look at each other and look at you. It's like, and what would that be about? Would you know?
They want to make him a paladin.
Boy, do you want to be a paladin?
I'm already a paladin, thank you.
What? Which god?
Galadrin thinks about it. Thinking. He shrugs. All of them. All?
You've taken your vows for the entire Trinity?
Maybe not for I definitely a lot of gods.
What do you mean, a lot? I guess the woods does have spirits and such. No. I mean, here's the thing that I wanted to speak with you, boy. Here, come sit down. And he pats the pew next to him. Brushes off some sandwich crumbs.
Okay, well, Galadrin sits anyway.
And you look, and like Serena is by and like takes a few steps back to give you some privacy. He's like, now listen here, boy. I know that you are from the woods and that you are new to our ways, but I believe that you have been guided here by destiny, by the hands of the Trinity. Yes, good. So, whatever a paladin meant, where you came from, it doesn't. This is Aventicuum. This is a different sort of society and structure and way we do things, and I would like to have you become a paladin in truth, in the eyes of the Trinity. Does that appeal to you? Does that sound good? You've already got a holy relic.
Yes,
You're in the company of a knight eternal. I believe you more than qualify.
My job as a prince has been diplomacy, but not the kind of diplomacy that I do here. And talking to you about these kinds of oaths is difficult because I already have many unsaid oaths. Could I please bring someone here from where I'm from to speak with you about this? Someone more knowledgeable?
Oh, of course. If you'd like to bring another
from Summer, yes.
Would you like me to call someone one of the?
No. I will. If you give me I don't know, a little bit of time, I can summon someone from Summer. He's very knowledgeable.
We wouldn't be able to do the official ceremonies until one of the gods' holidays, regardless. And if you wish to swear about all three, that hasn't been done in quite some time. I can only think of one paladin who's sworn to all three, and off the top of my head. But that would need to be done at New Year's, when all the gods are worshipped.
Oh, they're not worshipped. Well, it doesn't.
Well, no, it's the holy day. Each of the gods has a holy day. There's Felmar's Day, Carrick's Day, Rithmus's Day, and then there's also. And they're each at the midpoint of the season on the solstices or the equinox. And then for the winter solstice, it is the New Year's Day, where we celebrate all three of the gods in unison, the birth of a new year. And that is Traditionally, when one takes their vows as a paladin in Aventicuum, they take their vows to a god on the god's holy day. There's a grand ceremony about it, a big thing where they get up in front of a congregation and their fellow knights and they take their vows, and then there's a party and a feast afterwards. It's
Bishop.
all a grand thing.
Bishop.
And yes?
Your bishopness. My oaths, I do them every day. My oaths aren't on one specific day, they're all the days, and I renew them by acting on them every day. They're unsaid. Here.
That is admirable, but I would like, if you're going to be traveling with a Knight Eternal, I would like to lend your group an additional air of legitimacy.
Of course. Galadrin gets out his book, and he's going to try to summon his steed, his friend.
Do you have that spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't I?
You didn't tell me that you did, so I don't have a token for it.
I thought I did. Hold on, let me check to make sure
What
I'm not
level
cheating.
is Fine Steed?
2nd level, so I think so.
Didn't we level up?
You did level up, you didn't tell me,
Oh, you get the whole list, you just prepare some.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, Fine Steed is 2nd level.
You have not picked any 2nd level spells.
Well, because you just prepare them, so I was gonna get out my spell cards, but yeah, find Steed.
Yep.
You can tell me it doesn't work if you're not ready.
Let me look it up particularly because this goes into some world building stuff. And you're not just finding a steed, you are pulling a specific steed from the Fey realm here, correct?
That's right.
So this is something that you've probably done before, but it's easier to do in the Feywild, and you've just kind of needed to grow a bit more used to this world that's less magical than the one you've come from. And you feel like you should be able to, but it feels like there's something blocking your magic. Something like your call is going out, but there is sort of some sort of barrier that is keeping your magic from reaching to your friend.
Oh. I step to the side of that barrier and just reach right around it.
It is the world itself. It is like you're trying to reach to the Feywild beyond the sea, beyond the tree on the other side of that giant tree, and there's just you can't. It's out of reach.
What about like a nearby unicorn?
Make a survival check.
All right.
See if you can find a unicorn.
A nearby, a close one.
Yeah, nearby unicorn. You do not sense any unicorns.
He's not here.
Who's not here?
He has a lot of names. You probably call him Rosin, but he's not here, so it doesn't matter. Galahadrin closes the book. Well,
What's the prayer book of Felmar you have there? Where did you? Oh no, Bishop Baileybrooke said that he gave that to you, correct?
Yes, I've been studying how magic works here. It's a little more formal than where I'm from.
Oh, indeed it is. Indeed it is. Well, we have time until New Year's if you would like to take the Paladin's vows. I'm not going to force it upon you, good boy. They need to be taken. They're serious. You need to take them of your own free will, and you need to really mean them in your service to whatever gods, whichever one of the Trinity you devote yourself to. But I believe that though it is incredibly rare to swear to all of the Trinity with your position as a companion of one of the Knights Eternal, I'm sure that you could win over the approval of the other two bishops to get them to allow you to swear yourself. It'd be a very particular role. I believe that we only have... Yes, I believe... Serena! Yes, Archbishop. There's only currently one hand of the Trinity, yes? Yes, he is in service to the Regent Lord. Yes, no, we've only one paladin who's currently sworn to all the Trinity at once. Right now, I don't know where he is. He's off doing the Regency's work or something.
It sounds like more of a politics problem. Do the gods care?
It is from what I have told from my colleagues, now please know the other archbishops are paladins. I am merely a scholar and academic. It is taxing to the spiritual fortitude to devote yourself fully to just one god, to do it to all three, to satisfy all their demands for what you need to provide in order to act as their hand upon this world, their sword and their shield. It is hard to do. Not many mortal people are up for the task. It's very demanding. Yeah, that's about it. I couldn't do it. I'm far too old and frail. But even in my youth, I was again more of an academic. I was not fit to stand on the front lines of conflicts and shield the rest of the soldiers from ravaging monsters or something. And study books.
Well, I'll see what the future holds. I can't go back on any of the oaths I've already made to where I'm from. But I will swear to you this now, that I will help all the people of this land. Best I can. Just like the Green Knight did.
Yes, and I believe here. Let me see your prayer book there.
Of course.
And he opens your book, and he opens another book he has that has like you looking through it, and he flips to a section that has like a bunch of vows and oaths, and he starts. It's like, yes, we got some time until the king is here, and he like cracks his hands and just starts. This is an old, frail, man. He writes like a typewriter, like just quick, fast, precise, and he puts into a section of your prayer book. He writes down what the vows are, just so you can have them for reference.
While this is happening, Alina's gonna lean over to Abel and say what I said in the message.
Okay, you can say that again.
Just, with all this talk of me being what he thinks I am, what we think I am, whatever. How much, I'm not a betting woman, and I don't bet in church, but I wonder how red he would get if he found out that Adian and I were born on the beginning and the ending of New Year's.
What's that, Lena? The princess sort of looks over and is like, what are you talking about? Not keeping secrets from us, I hope. You and Mr. Whitewater there conspiring?
Conspiring? No, Your Highness. Fretting. That is a different matter.
Fair. And this is... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say to Eileen, I'm sure he would take it as a sign.
Oh, praise be the Trinity.
Yes, praise be. And you there, you are quite the sturdy-looking specimen here. What is this lad's name? He looks at Marrow, and is like, ask Abel and Alina what Marrow's name is.
Marrow, before you answer that, to be honest, in the sake of honesty amongst our highnesses, go ahead and take off that collar.
Marrow just shucks her collar. Takes it
Oh?
off.
Oh, is that one of those collars that they've been selling at Mira's Exotics?
It's fake, Your Highness. This is Marrow.
Oh, hello, Marrow. It's good to meet you.
She just says hello.
Oh! Without the collar?
Yep.
Yes.
Like we said, it's been an interesting few weeks.
Yes.
Lots of
That
things happen.
is interesting. Mr. Marrow, is it? It's a pleasure to meet you. Where are you from? The princess
she
comes
just-
over and is like, wait, is that dog talking?
I'm not a dog.
Oh, no, apologies. You like scritches?
No.
Okay, well,
Not if you like your fingers.
Okay, well then. Everett laughs and is like, "Oh, I think I like this one." Where are you from? Mr. Sir? I don't know the proper etiquette. I'm
Fine.
unfamiliar.
Mero just like mumbles something unintelligible that could sound like a location.
I don't speak whatever language they're speaking.
It's like she's being purposely obscure.
I know, but he's being genuine and
Yeah.
just like, there's a dog that said hello, and now it's just
It's
mumbling.
like-
He's like, oh, it must only know one word. Oh, one sec.
Oh my gosh. Broskies, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm getting tired.
I started the session sleepy. I'm with you.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah, he's like, interesting. And then as you guys are sort of having this conversation, some more royal guards, you can probably assume by now, open the doors, and two of them step in along with a older man that bears a resemblance to the prince and princess, but is dressed in, again, the same green colors, fancy gold trim, but with also a gold crown with a large emerald embedded in the center. So I walks in and is like, "Oh, Everett, Amelia, what are you two doing here?"
Can we roll for initiative now?
No.
The
If you want to. Or like, grandfather? It's like, didn't know that you two were going to be present here. I thought the Archbishop wanted to speak with me and some people he wished to introduce me to, for some reason.
Bowing again.
Yep.
Yes, good sirs. Oh, it's a big dog.
Not a dog.
Oh!
I'm really obsessed with all the hmms.
It runs in the family.
You know,
The royal.
what is it? Oh my god, what is the name of that show? The Good Place? Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, no, I know, it's a Janet line.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
no,
to make
I get it.
sure,
Yeah.
like, once I figured out that that's what I was doing, sometimes you just stick with a bit.
Okay. Not a dog, can talk, collar on the ground. Okay. Is that what the meeting is about?
Probably not.
Surprisingly, no, Your Majesty.
Surprisingly, no. And, forgive me, you two do look familiar, but I can't place your names.
Sir Abel Whitewater, Your Majesty.
Yes, young Master Whitewater, and, I don't recognize the elf, and Galahadrin's way up at the other end of the cathedral with the bishop. He's like, and you, just waiting for introductions from everybody else.
I'm still bowing. Sir Alina Katala.
Yes, I, believe that my granddaughter has extended an offer of knightship to you. I don't know why the Archbishop would need to call a meeting about that. I assume that is also unrelated?
Your Majesty, it is also unrelated.
Well, and I see that you've dismissed your guards. Yes, men, you can wait outside. We'll more than Nothing's going to happen in the cathedral while my grandchildren are on watch. And the Archbishop Front is like, "Oh yes, no, send all the people that don't need to know this outside. We're going to have a private discussion as soon as you guys get up here. I'm sorry I wouldn't come to meet you, but I don't have my chair." So, well, let's not keep the Archbishop waiting, children. And they start heading up.
And now we roll?
No. It's like, wait, where'd I put the king?
Hold on, there's a rat?
No,
That's
good.
absurd.
That's
Oh,
Gus.
okay, sorry. I got really excited for a second.
Not all of us getting really soft about saying Gus. Oh, that's Gus.
I did something with the king, and I don't know what.
I thought there was a little fun
He's up
thing
at the top.
hidden.
He's with the prince and princess.
I just put him back on the field. I missed
Oh.
him somehow. I misplaced him. Phelan
I
would
can't
have.
believe you misplaced the king.
You misplaced the king. How could you?
And then Serena just back behind the bishop, and he's like,
What?
Well, now, Archbishop Spade, you called me here. My grandchildren decided to come as well. I hope that it's you don't object to them being here. He's like, "Oh, no, they can be here. This is important for the next generation of rulership to be aware of as well. So great things are happening to our nation." Yeah, yes. And what would that be, Spade? And he's like, "Well, the Knights Eternal have returned." This. And I see that your assistant there. Hello, Serena. 'Tis good to see you again. She sort of bows her head. He's like, "Now, I hope you have something more for me, Mr. Spade, than just green hair." And he says, "Oh, don't forget the curse removal." It's like, "Yes, no, the curse breaking as well. That is definitely a gift from the Trinity, but not necessarily the Queen's return." He's like, "Yes, if you would, my dear," and Spade motions to Alina.
Of course, Archbishop. I'm just gonna do the thing. Let her wings.
Do that thing.
Galahadron applauds.
Oh my. The twins just sort of look at you, just wide-eyed, and look at each other, and everybody with a passive perception of at least. Oh no, only one of you would notice this. And it's Phelan, so he's not here. All right. He's like,
I want to know. I want to know the
Wait,
secret.
only with the passive perception of what?
"Oh, 15.
Oh, I think mine's, what, 13?
Yeah, I've got passive perceptions down.
Oh, okay.
He was like, now that is different. Miss Alina, I was believe that you went to the academy a few years younger than my grandchildren, yes?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Why didn't you reveal this to us earlier? Is this a recent development?
It is.
Hmm.
I started developing headaches right before and then after graduation.
And the princess is like, "Would this be why you have been delaying accepting the knighthood, then?"
It's part of it. I was worried before because I've been having dreams, and then I was worried about my mental stability, if I am to be frank with the royal family. There were dreams, and then there were dreams when I was awake. Memories, visions, whatever you would like to call hallucinations, if that strikes your fancy.
I believe that we can call them blessings of the Trinity in this place, the prince says. Sister, I am disappointed that you have not pursued her knighthood more strongly. I doubly support this decision by you. She sort of looks at him, like, ah, thank you, brother. I'm glad to have your permission.
Your
Alina.
Highness. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yes, no. If this is true, that you are a Knight Eternal, then I believe I am not being presumptuous to say that the royal family would like to offer you their full backing, which I guess just means that the offer still stands.
I appreciate it. There is more. There's a lot more.
Oh, please.
With that is why I fled Norest. I was afraid, and I wasn't sure if my brain was my own, and I would like to preface this next action with, this is in no way a threat. She will be gone in a moment. I am just showing you. And she does hold her hands up as in like I mean no harm, and I summon the echo.
Okay. They look at it sort of wide-eyed. It's like,
I can fight through her. I can switch places with her.
peculiar power.
She listens to my commands. I don't know what she is.
I've certainly never seen anything like it, sister. It's like, no, it definitely wasn't something that she showed me at school either. Certainly a recent development. The king sort of narrows his eyes. It's like, looks a bit between that and the not dog. That does remind me of Knoll summoning magic. It's that sort of rainbow sheen on the dark surface there, but if the holy wings and if the archbishop isn't concerned, he's like, oh no, I'm quite excited.
The echo goes away. I can also limit. There are limits, but I can heal those around me.
Well, that's on top of his previous evidence of Miss Serena. That does compel me to think that there is, if not the Knights Eternal returning, at least some other power from the Trinity afoot.
There's word of another.
Really?
Sir Galahadrin's home.
Oh yes, and the prince is like, oh yes, he was telling me all about him. A green knight whose cloak is the same color as our house.
That's right. The exact same. He had first-hand stories of who you'd call the Knights Eternal. I heard them every day for as long as I can remember.
How would you... That was centuries ago. How would...
We don't keep time like that where I'm from.
Oh yes, no, I have it there on they use a lunar calendar that goes purely off of the verdant moon instead of all three.
No, not exactly.
Still, even if that's a different calendar, you don't look very... You don't look like many of the old Imperial elves. Look much younger than that.
Thank you.
Do wood elves age the same rate as Imperial elves? And
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I don't know.
No. I really am from Summer, which is far away but much closer than you seem to regard. I'm sure your gods have heard of Summer.
He's from Summer, brother, and yes, sister, he is from Summer. A literal place embodying summer. He is quite interesting. He also has a relic. Oh yes, and how did you come across... I'm not familiar with that relic. Familiar enough to know that it is powerful, but I don't know which one it is off the top of my head. It's definitely...
Dawn's Reach.
Dawn's Reach. Wasn't that missing?
It was.
Yes,
It was a relic of House Seabreeze, and we've recovered it. It was a...
Ah, glorious.
yes, he's currently holding it on my behalf, Your Majesties.
Oh, so he serves House Whitewater? Is one of your knights?
I am in
he's-
Whitewater's debt, yes.
Yes, he's a friend, an ally, although not formally sworn to us.
There's
That
no
is the
need to
other
formally
half.
swear.
That is the other half of our tale. Your Majesty and Your Royal
Please,
Highness.
go ahead. Regale us. I'm interested to hear what a new Knight Eternal has been up to in my kingdom.
Minus the Phelan stuff.
Okay.
She would, and I'm looking at Abel for the stuff about what he wants to tell about his uncle. But I will tell about the zombies. I will tell about. I will tell the things that that aren't directly involving Abel's family. I will let
Here's the
Abel
thing.
choose.
Well, so my basic thing is the only thing that we've basically kept back from the nobles in Dranis that we'll get back to them eventually is the fact that we knew that the shield was in the bag of holding before we went into the deal.
Right, I remember that now. I'm gonna spill everything. I will look at you, Abel, and I will get your permission before I continue.
I mean, if you want to tell them everything starting from Creek and then coming up to now.
Minus the Genesis. Well, we did say Genesis stuff. Well, we did say the word, but we never, like... we're gonna keep failing out as much as possible, I think.
Here's the problem. You need to explain to them in some way why Phelan is with you.
Well, I mean, we'll explain his involvement in Creek.
Phelan is with us for the same reason that I'm with Eilina, right? I'm not claiming to be a Knight Eternal or anything like that. I'm just helping her out, basically.
Well, that makes sense. You're a noble, and you have privilege, and can, go places and speak to people and do things. Galahadrin has a relic and is apparently calling himself a knight. Alina has been offered a knightship. Marrow is some strange murder machine. They can just tell by he's covered in knives.
And a
They're definitely looking at Phelan and are like, "Why are you here? What do you contribute to this?" And Phelan's just standing there, just like, "Fuck." Just
arrows.
Hold on, I'm gonna ask him real fast. He's
Okay.
literally texting me right now. How's the game? Intriguing, fun. I hate my life. Hold on.
Yo, just tell him to pop in a headphone and listen to us like a podcast.
Yeah, I will say he introduced himself to Abel's uncle with the understanding that the uncle was like, "Oh, you're a wizard." And that's definitely been a tact that you guys could have taken this whole time, as just he's a strange wizard from the woods or something. So there's more mundane ways to go about it, but the sort of other end of the spectrum of we're not going to mention what he contributes to the group at all as something special is highly suspicious. And Abel would know this. Abel's good enough at lying.
Yeah.
He also is from the Nolans, right?
Phelan? No.
No, listen, I'm lying. I'm offering a suggestion of things we can say.
I think just saying he's a wizard is probably the simplest thing. And we've basically dragooned him into our service.
This man doesn't answer me in approximately 2 minutes. I'm just gonna call him, and he's gonna hate that.
And he's just gonna be a wizard.
He's got Discord on his phone.
I know. But he might be driving right now.
No.
Listen, there's no reason he can't. Well, no, actually, I'm sure he has.
Well, you'll need to answer that, but that is not the part they're going to. Unless you give me just a buck wild answer, that's not the part they're going to be focusing on. So we can move on a bit.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start from Creek, and then until further notice, we are going to portray him as a weird wizard from the woods.
Okay, and then Galahadrin, you guys are all supporting Galahadrin as being not from around here.
I mean,
you're corroborating the House of Summer stuff and all that.
Can't you tell by his accent?
Stay wild.
Yeah.
He's pretty consistent. He's been pretty consistent about it. So.
I think
Green Knight, claiming to be a Knight Eternal, who gave you a cloak using royal dye. I believe, sister, that tailor doesn't sell that to anyone. No, it's a law. They're only supposed to use that for the royal families. Right.
May I ask, in my brain, racking my brain of all my history lessons, what happened to their father?
Go ahead and make a history check with disadvantage, and your DC is high. You're not from this country. Nobody would have told you.
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
No, well, remember, you asked what happened to their parents, and you were told to never ask that again. Rhea
Right.
probably same thing, is like you at one point were like, oh yes, and like your grandfather's king, you were prince and princess, tell me what of your parents. They were just like, Elena, my dear, I know you don't mean it. We don't speak of that.
Cool.
And just shut you down very politely. Like, said that, and then whatever you guys were having a fun little conversation, they excused themselves and left.
Oh, sad. Okay. But yeah, just everything that has happened to us up until this point, and then at the end, construing him as like a strange little wizard man. But at the end, she's going to say, I would like it stated, I think I've told their highnesses before. However, I also have a twin. I do not know if he holds the same power as I, but I believe he does.
Yeah, I believe you've mentioned before that he went to Xeris. They split you up after your house fell, the princess.
That is true.
Have to see if I can find out what is happening with him. I have put out some feelers, but it's haven't found any sources that have let me know what he is doing as of now. And the prince is like, oh, nope, I actually got a report in the other week. She's like, why did you get a report in? It's like, I just wanted to beat you to it. I knew it was important to her. It's like, all right, well, where is he? It's like, yes, he is actually with the Iron Wolves. And you guys can go ahead and make history checks on that.
Stop it. Stop it. Just tell me.
You and Abel. Abel, Rhea, you've heard the term, but you don't know anything specific. Abel, the Iron Wolves are a mercenary band that the Kingdom of Xeris hires out to people to fight in various areas. They do fighting in the duchies. They do fighting in Hinsworth and in border conflicts. Sometimes they'll go to Lothmar or the northern border of the Nolands or the Wrathbase. They're basically Xeris likes to keep its soldiers well trained in practical experience, and so picks some of the best ones and sends them out in groups to fight in various conflicts. And he was apparently accepted into that. It means that he is probably just as talented as Alina.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how I would have found that out. Like maybe my uncle hired some or something for the war at some point.
You could, or it's just gossip around the,
Mhm.
because some students might come here from Xeris, not a lot, but the Royal Academy.
Drug dealer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I dealt drugs to a couple.
Yeah, it could have been. You probably haven't met any, but you've at least heard stories of what they are and stuff, and the thing. I don't think, on an 18, you can't think of any that have been hired by Basmar for any conflicts in the south, or any that are you haven't heard tale of any that are currently on order. And the prince will be like, oh, if he's with the Iron Wolves, could we request him for mission? It's like, well, you can't request specific Iron Wolves, sister, and we also don't know where or if he's deployed, but my men did say that he was on the name of recently admitted knights in the order. Well, Alina, hopefully it's good to know he's alive and well. Probably on a very dangerous battlefield, but if he's half as competent as you, then he should be fine.
That is good to hear.
Yes.
So just in my head, I'm thinking out loud. They just had that ready to go.
The prince said that they had been looking into it. He had the report and he had forgotten about it, and it's just like, yeah, I learned about this a while ago.
Okay. All right.
Alina has been just on the road for a year. They offered her the night shift, she turned it down, and
But
You
they
know,
still
but
looked into it for her anyway. Okay. I got it.
they want to know
Listen,
who.
I'm talented.
Yes, I mean,
Go make an insight check, Abel.
I assume that this is probably because they just wanted to like earn her favor.
And hot.
The princess was looking into it to earn her favor. The prince was looking into it to find out faster to be petty. Just to say, oh, you were trying to find this. Well, I know it. What can I get out of it in this situation? She's like, okay, I'm not using this as a bargaining chip. I'm just gonna give this for free now.
Right, but still get one over your sister.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. Well then, if we'll see if we can find your brother. See if we can potentially bring him here to Basmar if we can. No guarantees on that. The Xeris is quite particular about their Iron Wolves. They're a very important part of their military history, we should say. But yes, is there... So, Archbishop, aside from just informing us of this return, is there anything that you actually needed from us? Oh yes, money! Right. I imagine it's like, yes, no, we found Serena here, as you know, in the Garen Woods, the outreach program, and then Alina here was from the duchies. So I've told you my theory already, but yes, the Knights Eternal who are returning are going to be in heavy conflict zones. It's like, yes, and I need funding to find more of them. I can even find this brother, if you'd like. Just let me, more funding, more official support from the crown, and I will get you a full set of 9 knights. King's like, bet you shall, Bishop. I bet you shall. We can have a budgetary discussion. I need to look over some finance things, and we shall talk.
Your Majesty, there is one more thing.
Of course, yes.
Abel?
You want to do this now?
Yes, Abel, now that I'm thinking of it, you had requested a meeting about that import shipment. I was still waiting on deciding what the hell I wanted to do about that quite sticky situation you put us in with Felmara.
Yes, that was what I wanted to talk to you about. My uncle is quite insistent on having his guns.
I bet he is. What did he need them for, that he decided to go behind everyone's back and smuggle them in?
He didn't tell me.
But he was going to trade a relic for it.
I make no excuses for my uncle in that regard.
Good. I need to think on it a bit more.
Very well, Your Majesty. That's,
King's like, I will leave that to your judgment, Everett. It's like, thank you, grandfather.
Was it the drug comment that summoned you?
What?
Al jumped in. I texted the group. We are selling drugs to the king. If it kills him, that's his business. And then all I hear is bloop bloop.
Drugs?
I will mention. So I'll say to the prince that is part of the reason why I'm keeping Dawn's Reach close at hand.
Make sure you do. Sir Galahadron, please, before you give that back to House Whitewater, make sure that you run that by me before you do.
I will make sure that I talk to you about it. I think the relic is going to go where it wants to go.
We'll go where the Trinity wills it, which will be wherever I tell you to.
I look at
This guy just kind of looks. He's you can insight roll. You can tell he's not like, that was something he saw on his calendar. He looked into a bit probably, and he's just like, "The fuck is this?"
What is this?
Yeah.
Can't roll that 20s on all my insight checks.
So.
It just seems like it's pretty obvious. Like he just wants to keep control of a relic.
Yep. He's like, sister, if you are still extending that offer to Alina, which I fully support, and you're all also vouching for Sir Galahadrin's character as well?
We are.
Yes.
Sir Galahadrin,
Thank
let me
you.
know if you are interested in knighthood. We can speak about that some more. That would allow you to carry that relic more officially without having to worry about the church's vows and oversights. And Kemp's like, oh no, he's going to be a paladin. He's going to swear himself to all three of the Trinity.
Hmm. Well, I'll have to think about it. Perhaps I will consult the gods.
That would be a wise course of action. And once you have, please consult me as well, if you don't mind.
Oh, certainly.
I would
Now,
like to
but-
look at Princess Amelia and smile and say, I think with all the things happening with the Whitewaters, not Abel, but his uncle, and the things happening in that town, that is the mystery I was speaking of, with the sea breed zombies and everything that has happened to us since.
Oh yes, it all seems quite mysterious, quite the mess that you have going down there with Colmar, isn't it, brother? Yes, it was not complicated earlier today, but it has become more so. I will deal with it. Oh yes, I bet you will. Now then, is there anything else? I believe all three of us have meetings we need to attend. I was like, nope, just the funding. We shall discuss that at a later date, Archbishop. If there's nothing else. Alright, good day. And the king will leave, followed by the prince and the princess will linger a bit longer. The king will head out unless anybody stops him. The princess will sort of go up to Alina first and is like, I hope that you come to your decision quickly. It seems like things might be escalating, and we could use Knight Eternal or not. I could definitely use your talents at hand.
I must ask, would I be given leave to continue my investigation?
I think with everything else that is transpiring, it would be... Yes, I don't believe I could use you for what I was originally thinking, but this seems more urgent, and being kept more centralized to this evolving situation would be prudent. Yes, I believe that we can discuss that, of having a bit more autonomy than originally.
May I ask what your original designs were for me?
She sort of looks over at her brother and is like, well, I know that the duchies are a bit closer to Lothram. There were some people that I wanted you to meet and potentially impress.
I can still do that, Your Highness, if I
It
need
might
to.
not be as much of a priority, but we can discuss that. Until then, it was nice meeting all of you. Archbishop, Serena, bows to everybody and takes her leave.
Bowing forever.
Yep.
The forever bow.
Prince comes up and he's like, whatever sort of politics that my sister and I play at, I do have to say, if you do accept the knighthood, I will not stand in the way of whatever you feel needs to be done to better Basmar, as long as you remain loyal to Basmar.
I understand you, and I appreciate it.
Good. There's many things that we can squabble and bicker over, but the fate and well-being of this kingdom is foremost on both our minds. And as long as you work towards that goals, then even though you might report to my sister directly, you will still have the full royal family support.
And she bows deeply.
Abel, good seeing you again. Mr. Phelan, Mr. Marrow. Galadrin, let me know if you're interested in our offer.
I shall think on it. I am in Whitewater's debt, so I suppose if I was a knight, I'd have to be for Whitewater.
Well, luckily, there are ways for me to make Whitewater's debts mine. And he
Oh.
sort of smirks and leaves.
As soon as the royal family is gone,
Well, I think that went well.
Alina is gonna step over to Phelan and platonically, stated immediately, just sort of hold his hand. She's tired and she's scared, and that was a lot.
Make Pilot Gus to do something cute, Lev.
Alina, are you trying to hide that?
Yes.
Sleight of hand, please.
Oh no, I'm bad at it.
Ooh. Or deception, your choice.
I'm also bad at that. I'm bad at lying, and I'm bad
Yeah.
at being sneaky.
Yeah.
But I'm better at lying, apparently. But not that good.
As you do that to sort of like go over to Phelan and sort of let a bit of strain and discomfort on your face, Serena will come over and will put her hand on your shoulder, and you feel your anxiety and stress dwindle dramatically.
Do I lose that sweet, sweet point of exhaustion?
You do.
Yay! Gone.
There, sister. Be calm. I know that this is all new and overwhelming at first, but we will get through this together.
I appreciate it. It's just a lot. I
No,
thought I
no.
was crazy.
Oh, I thought so at first as well. It's been the bishop's service for almost 2 years now, and it hasn't necessarily gotten better, but that was when I was just by myself. But now that we're both here together, we can support and back up each other.
Of course.
Let us know if you need anything. And Archbishop, I believe that you have other meetings to attend. Oh, yes, where's my chair? And she goes, grabs his wheelchair, transfers him over. And he looks over everybody and is like, I believe that went very swimmingly. Miss Galahad, be sure to, if you have any questions about those vows, let me know. I can schedule a meeting here at the Royal Cathedral if you want to take your vows during the New Year's celebrations. It'll be grand. We'll have a big festival and party. It'll be a second hand of the Trinity. At the same time, it has not happened in centuries.
Thank you for the generous offer of hospitality.
You are more than welcome. Good day, everyone. Let me know if you need anything. And they take off.
Ooh. Ooh.
And you guys are left there. You were left for a moment by yourself, but then guards and deacons come back into the cathedral now that it's no longer officially a meeting, and it starts to come a bit more to life as its regular duties resume. But you are given like a circle of being left alone, of privacy, but there are more people in the building now. If you wanted to stay, you can also leave. Not everybody speak at once.
Probably shouldn't talk about this kind of stuff in the public. You guys want to get out of here? That was a lot.
That was a lot. Let's get a drink.
Hooray!
Alright. You guys head to the nearest tavern. Kind of decompress. Are we feeling... Above table, are we feeling good for another, like, half hour or so? Or how are we feeling?
Sleepy.
I'm down to leave at any point in time.
I think I'd like to figure out what we're doing next.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's-
then I think we're good.
I'm also down to figure out what we're doing next.
Like both in and out of character, I'm not sure.
Yep, that's why I was sort of asking for the half hour.
So where were we originally going after this? Weren't we going past the city to somewhere else?
Let me know if there's any maps you want me to bring up.
I think we're
So
gonna
bring up
turn
Basmar
around after
first.
this.
I think just the main map, right?
Well, we gotta figure out the guns.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of my problem. And that's really up to the prince at this point. It's more like what he wants to negotiate with me. Like, I'm assuming he's gonna ask me to do some kind of favor for him. Or like, he could tell my uncle. So this might be the neatest way to work this out. Is he might tell my uncle, I'll work out your thing with the guns if you, I don't know, like give me Abel as a way to get at the shield in Galahadrin. I'm trying to think of like how this works, kind of like in story, and then also with keeping the party together, as it were.
Because, I mean, there's also a good possibility that if I swear, then I can take control of the guns with the prince's permission.
I mean, yeah, if he gives you permission, then obviously you have permission. You could definitely make that as part of your, I guess the Abel wouldn't want to ask that of you as, like, your friend. Like, you're doing your own thing, you've got enough things going on. His uncle's the one who screwed up with the guns and everything. It's like I'm not... Neither me nor Abel are too invested in getting the guns to my uncle. It would be nice as a bonus objective, but I'm also kind of willing to let them go if that's what happens. But if we could somehow leverage... I guess basically like you being a Knight Eternal is now our main quest.
Gross.
I mean, you signed up for that.
I know I did.
As you guys are one cup in, Galahadrin,
Yes.
you remember when you woke up and found that man scrounging around in Phelan and Alina's room.
Oh yeah, there was a little masked man in your room, Phelan and Alina.
Was it Gary?
Masked man, dark robe.
I'm sorry?
He disappeared into. I tackled him. He disappeared into smoke.
Short, I described him as like goblin size, wearing a like black black cloak and hood and mask and everything.
Spooky white mask.
Not white.
Really? About goblin-sized?
Yes, almost exactly like a goblin.
So roughly hobbit-sized?
Maybe. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Is there a hobbit we're looking out for?
Did he have anything in his hands?
No, he looked like he didn't find what he wanted. Or she, I guess.
Oh, it's a he.
Oh, it's a he.
Have we met a halfling?
Yeah, you were asleep. You, Tiga, were asleep. We
Oh.
met Phelan's friend, Gary.
Gary. Oh, a trustworthy name.
Galahadrin, you were forgetting the final sort of weirdness about that confrontation.
I said he disappeared into smoke.
He didn't. He just vanished. No smoke.
Well, yes, but I mean, ephemerally, he vanished. Like not the
Okay.
visible spectrum.
Can I book it to my room?
Yeah. You
Yeah, we're gonna go do an
Oh,
investigation
It's
check
a
on my
bit
room.
It's a bit messy. I didn't do that.
We trust you.
I assume that Phelan has 1 better investigation and 2 doesn't have access to rolling, so I will go ahead.
I
and
do
roll
not. I
investigation.
believe my investigation's like 5
Plus 4? Yeah.
or
Alina, what is your investigation?
+1.
All right, so let's go. Let's roll that with advantage. 22. You look around. Half your room is turned over. The place where you sort of, not like hid your sword, but stashed your sword is still there, as well as any other weird things that you put and like stashed away. So anything that you tried to hide is untouched. It was just he went through your clothes and surface level things, and then
okay. There's not much in there. I'm still a poor boy, so
yeah, it didn't look like they had a lot of time. But your room is like messed, but the place that you stashed, whatever you stashed is safe.
Got it.
They didn't take anything.
Is any of my stuff taken? The weird little pervert.
Guys, I'm really tempted. No, none of you.
Are you gonna make it a weird little? You're gonna make it
You
a
said
panty situation?
you said weird little pervert, not me. No, all your stuff is there too. Although I don't think you hid anything. So.
I don't have anything to hide.
Yeah, well, Phelan does.
I do.
Fine.
Actually,
my
if you weren't carrying your mithril ingots, he probably no, those are too heavy. He wouldn't have found those. I'm not taking anything from you. So, but yeah, nothing. Your rooms are sort of your room is turned over, but nothing is visibly stolen.
How about invisibly? Stolen?
I will also say for a 22, the window is still locked from the inside.
I don't care what trickeries he's using.
I think it's time to have a conversation with your friend.
Yeah, I think it's time we head back to that shop.
Yeah, we're gonna beat up Gary.
And at least 2 other people.
And 2 other strangers. Sounds fun.
And you're doing that today? It's around, like, 3 or 4.
That's fine. That's a perfect
Okay.
time. Late evening, early
Okay.
dusk. Perfect time to beat the shit out of us.
Were there
I'm a little hobbit.
Yeah. Were there any other discussions that you guys wanted to have?
I guess I assume that that's probably not going to take up the full of the next session, so we probably still need to discuss like what we want to be doing.
Gods, it depends on what you do. It shouldn't take up the whole session. It might. Who knows?
No, it's just gonna be a beatdown. Don't touch my shit. Also, well, they probably didn't know. Never mind. Gonna have a word with the innkeeper, but like, if my window's still locked, he didn't know he was in there.
Yeah. Well, if you want to, you can ask him. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess a lot also depends on whether or not Eileen or Galahadron take people up on their offer of knighthood, and then also if the prince or the princess do any like sneaky political moves in the background behind us to try and like get us more tied to them.
So what would... Well, not to be blunt about this, but the leaders of this group seem to be Abel and Alina. What do you think we should do?
Let me look at my quest log. Let me consider all of the things that we're doing.
While you're thinking of that, we can probably do the shop thing just to see if it's going to be quick or not. You go to Mira's Exotics. The door opens. There is not a cat on the shelf looking down. There is now a scarlet retriever that is sitting by the door. But as you walk in, just looks and says, "Hello, I love you."
I love you too, friend.
Oh, will you pet me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you seen a little gnome?
I have seen
He's a
many
halfling.
gnomes.
Halfling?
Yeah, speak to the proprietor of this establishment.
I put him down as a gnome.
Okay, that works too.
A halfling? Yeah. Because there weren't halflings in the Garen
gnome.
Woods, there were gnomes.
Yeah, gnome.
He was like, I have seen many gnomes. Do you know one in particular? I don't know names.
Would
I
you
only
please
know smells? What did they smell
Would you please
like?
fetch the proprietor of this establishment?
Okay. Will you pet me while I go fetch them?
I will pet you once you return.
Okay. Goes.
Hell yeah.
But there's a dwarf by the counter. It's like, I can see ya. I can see you over here. It's like, oh, okay, I got him. Please pet me more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what do you, oh yeah, you're Gary's friends, yeah?
Yeah. Would you happen to know how I could... Would you happen to know how I can get a hold of Gary?
Gary? Nah, I think he skipped town earlier this morning. Yeah, said he found new work, was going to go and get me some of those basilisk parts that we were short on for the last shipment.
Would you happen to know when he will return?
Gonna be quite honest, don't know where he's gonna get basilisks.
Fair enough.
Figured he
Would
was
you
just
happen-
in town, gave me an excuse.
Okay. Well, if you see him again, please let him know that I'm looking for him.
Ah, no, sure, he comes in here all the time looking for work, doing little odds and ends. Where should I reach out to you if he comes back, or just tell him that you're looking for him? Like, how do you...
I'll tell him the name of the inn that I have already forgotten.
Alright, yeah, Dancing Toad. Yeah, I can send them there.
Thank you.
Alright.
I don't know if I have to roll an investigation check or not, but is there a way to discern? He said he skipped town early this morning, right?
Earlier this morning, yeah.
Okay. Is there a way to ask around and find any hints as to which way he would have gone?
So there's different ways to do that. There's asking around would be like a persuasion
Role
or
playing, yeah.
investigation. Tracking him down, like physically tracking him down, would be survival, which is harder to do in the cities for most people.
Sure. Let's go with persuasion then,
Only
which
there
I
was
probably
somebody
have better.
who was good at tracking.
Oh yeah. Hey. Hold on one moment.
Yeah. If you don't want to use you have your feature, which is a once per extended rest. But then there's also, you can just make a survival check and try and sort of track them. Marrow.
Oh, we'll just do survival.
Okay.
If she's asked.
Would you guys ask Marrow?
Sorry, give me just a second. I'm getting reacquainted here.
I assume that he would ask you. We can just to expedite things a bit. You go to track him. It seems most prudent to start in the room because you can smell that there's other scents besides just your companions in there. There's one sort of scent of leaves and like cut grass.
Smelled
sort
like
of
a
thing.
fucking rat to me.
Yeah, kind of. And you sniff for it, and you try and find where it goes, and it begins and ends abruptly in the room.
Can I do a vibe check in the room or like a perception check to see if he's still in the room?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
that's part of the survival. You know he's not in the room, but it smells like he appeared in the room, did some stuff, and then disappeared from the room completely.
Okay,
No,
so there's no trail.
there
to
is a
follow.
there is a sharp break in the trail that is like this person existed and then they stopped existing.
Okay. I will let my compatriot know.
How long ago would this have been?
You'd be asking Galahadrin, and Galahadrin would say whatever time they woke up and that made them late for the meeting.
Yes.
But you
And
can
my
probably
own
expect
personal
like-
understanding?
Probably like 10 a.m.
And it is what time now?
3. Probably at this point 4.
6 hours is a long way of traveling. I am going to get on. I'm going to summon my bird, the big one, and fly, and see if I can see anybody on any roads. We're not going to go too far out because I don't have all fucking day.
Are
But-
you going to do this inside the city walls?
No, we're not doing any of that. We'll walk outside the city. How can I get outside the city
You
walls?
get outside the city. It's going to take you like half an hour to get outside the city walls, and then you're surrounded by mostly forest.
This son of a bitch. Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's
I'll still
like
do it.
It's like I'm going to go and look around the outskirts of St. Louis. Like,
I mean, I'll still do it, but I doubt I'll see anything. We'll do it
Yeah.
until it's dark.
yeah, go ahead and just do a perception.
Okay, I am home, so let me get everything pulled up and I can do that.
Okay.
And for that, can I take Marrow? Can Marrow go to this like city gates? Because are there 4 of them? I'm assuming.
Yes. There's 3. The north one doesn't have a gate. The north one's a solid wall.
Run around and see if we can sense anything within the city itself.
Invalid password for Al. It's Al. Oh, I had caps on.
Yeah, go ahead and do another survival check.
I'm trying to see if my barely checked rage would have kept me from doing this inside the city walls.
You sniff around sort of
It
on
is
the
not a
outskirts.
good look.
Yeah, you sniff around on sort of like the outskirts of the city. You don't. There's so many scents here coming and going of different humanoids and animals and goods and fruits and stuff. You can't pick up any single person's scent that you've only smelled once or twice before. So.
What was I doing again? Perception?
Well, but
Perception. But yeah, Meryl?
I'll just use Dirt's feet or whatever it's called.
I don't have advantage on that. Sorry. Give me just a second. But tell me which one it rolled. 6, so nothing great. +5, so 11.
You are not able to see him from up there. So Dirt's feet, do you mean your extended rest ability, or does Dirt have something?
Okay, I thought it was on Dirt. Yeah, it's on
no.
Dirt.
Oh, it is? What is it called?
On that?
Oh, yeah, that's on Marrow.
Oh, I'm literally looking. Sorry,
They're both dogs. Oh, whoops. Let's see. So casting it this way requires a material component which must be an item which has the creature's scent, which you do not have.
If he touched something in the room, though, wouldn't it have his scent on it?
Is that how dog scents work, or does it have to be like?
Yes, actually, it would.
It would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you smell Galahadron? Because Galahadron grabbed him.
Galahadron grabbed Smoke.
I mean, if your stuff is messed up, then he's touched something in the room.
Yeah. So you are able to pick up a faint trail of his, and it is going towards the river. So it's going towards the harbor, sort of south of the city, where it connects to the river. And from there, it is getting on a barge, and it is going north into the woods.
The barge is going into the woods?
The barge is going upriver towards Walden.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah,
honestly.
sorry.
No,
So
okay.
the barge isn't just like river and then off the shore and then walking. Yeah.
The barge is actually a turtle.
And I say towards Walden. Meryl points out the direction, and Phelan, from just maps and stuff, is like, oh, that's by where Walden is. It's on the river, upriver from Norest, which is why it's one of the bigger, settlements.
Yeah. Well,
are we gonna go there?
That's frustrating.
I mean, we do have time to kill. We could go.
I have more pressing matters than some piece of shit little gnome.
And at this point, it's probably like 6 p.m.
And flying for several hours. I should probably come back.
Nope. Anything else?
Not concerning him, no.
Okay. Anything else before you guys head to bed?
So we're gonna wait? We're gonna vibe until...
I think we've got a couple of decisions that we need to make. Like, if either you or Galahadron take up the prince or princess on their offer, that'll change things. If either the prince or the princess decide that they're gonna do something like if they want to basically commandeer me from my uncle in some way, like the prince kind of implied he wanted to do. That might direct us. But other than that, I think our only leads that we have currently kind of point back to Pontem at this point. Because so for my quest log, what I've got in there, we've got House Seabreeze, which we don't really have a good direction of where to investigate besides their former stronghold, which we're not really sure. Like that was just kind of a guess on our part. We have the Karikian heresy stuff, which is just we go back into the Garen Woods and see what we can find. With the Return of the Knights Eternal, I don't think we have any specific places we would want to go unless we want to go and find Eilena's brother and see if maybe he's also a Knight Eternal. In which case we would be going to Xeris. And then for the guns, that's just it's kind of in the prince's hands at this point. I feel like he's going to use it as a bargaining chip to try and get me to do something, which is fine, both in and out of character. I kind of expect that. But that's not in our control. So,
Well, if we do go to Pontem without the guns, I do think it would be in our best interest for one of us to go in as a heavy hitter, either that being the prince, fealty napping you, or
yeah, that is the thing, is I don't particularly want to go back to
or
Pontem.
more Galahadron.
Oh, there's also the don't forget the famine. That's also a thing that's happening. That also points
Oh
back to
god,
Pontem.
the famine.
The Archbishop said that she was going to do an audit about it, but that might be something we should go and investigate. But yeah, you're right. I don't want to go back to Pontem without somebody with significant authority to leverage against my uncle, because otherwise he could just order me to give him back the shield and go and like do something nefarious with it as well, which I don't think would be good.
Do we want to? Well, we'll have to leave a note for the Prince or Princess either way.
Yeah,
But
I mean, we
nervous
also
about
don't need to
that.
leave right at this moment. Like, we could sit on it for a couple of days and discuss. I'm just like out of character. I kind of want to like give Lev some direction about where we're gonna go. So I guess the question is.
Nah, he's got this.
I mean, I guess in terms of things he's got prepared, I think he did have the House Seabreeze already, because that was one of the places we were thinking about going before that we just didn't.
I'm very good at pivoting.
Yeah.
I also don't have children, so I have a lot of time to prep.
That's true too.
I don't have either.
But you do have a new puppy.
That's
I
true.
do not.
I do have a new puppy.
I was talking
Yeah,
about Al.
Al has a
not
new
you.
puppy.
Oh yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
So I guess we can wait a couple of days and see if any of the royal family makes a move on us, or comes to a decision. Like, is that what we want to do as a party?
Like romantically?
No, like
Yes.
politically.
Oh, okay. That too. I mean, listen, I'm here to have fun.
Por qué no los dos? Am I right?
Well, I mean, if one of the royals was eyeing Marrow, that might be a bit awkward.
That yeah.
Not Marrow.
I mean, to each their own.
Don't judge.
I don't know. So let's see. If you guys are going to be spending a few days here, I think you sleep that night. Galahadron, you're able to trance as normal, so you can do your usual late night, early morning routine stuff. The next morning, at about 10, so like, later in the morning, Abel, where would you be at around 10 a.m.?
If we don't have any other engagements, I would probably just be kind of hanging out at the Dancing Toad, I don't have anything alchemical to do because I don't have reagents, so I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, just.
So as you're sort of sitting there, a messenger comes in the door, out of breath, like running through the city, looks over and sees her. It's like, Mr. Whitewater, yes.
That's correct. What can I do for you?
They're wearing like a royal messenger's sort of
okay,
scabbard.
Yes, that's correct. What could I do for the royal family, sir?
Yes, a letter from the prince, sir. It's quite urgent, I was told.
Of course, I take it right away and I open it and I read it, like right in front of me.
Received, and the letter is short, to the point. Received a hawk from Goldcliff, which is where the Marquis Velicanth is located. Pontem was attacked the night of the 2nd. And that's where we're going to end it.
Oh no.
Oh, dang.
That would have been... Okay, now I need to look at the calendar. Calendar, the end of the 2nd, so that would be 2 days ago? 3 days ago at this point. Because this is the, I think, I don't know if you've advanced the calendar yet.
It is currently the 4th.
Okay, so that would be 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to see the prince. And we'll stop the recording.